What is going on, y'all? It's your girl Janiqua, and I am back with another reading for you guys. If no one told you guys today, I love you. And I know all your dreams and aspirations matter because they do. So let's tap right on into your energy and see what Spirit has in store for my divine masculines and feminines out here. Archangel Michael and the Legua, please protect me as I channel this energy. Well, it says helpful people and it says no. All right. It says compromise, there's something better. So this week ahead, it's a no. All right. There's people around you that is not helpful. All right. Who's ever asking for your energy or something from you, I don't care what it is, it's a no. It's a no. Helpful people and no. You don't need help from these people right now. Okay? These people are not here to help you. I'm also hearing a big fat no with a cherry on top. I'm also hearing something is the icing on a cake. So I don't know what's going on, y'all, but for my divine masculines and feminines out here, all right, that's looking at this reading, something is like, it's the icing on a cake for something. It's no. All right. Also, yeah, help. You don't need to help these people. There's no helping these people or even a person. There's no helping them. They don't want to be helped. Spirit, give me more on this energy. Like your gods, that's the angels deck. Look, the Lovers. The Lovers. To the Queen of Wands. Spirit, give me more on this Lovers. Please and thank you. The Three of Swords. Oh my gosh. To the Knight of Swords. Something is the last draw. Something is the icing on the cake. You should not help this person. You should not want to help this person. The Lovers to the Three of Swords. That's like heartbreak. That's like the truth cutting you deep. That no gonna hurt. Spirit, give me more on this energy. All right, the Six of Swords. I don't know, y'all moving away. Y'all could be moving away from a lover. This could be for a job or something. I'm also getting, if this is not a lover, right? If this is not like an actual romantic lover, this could be just somebody you had love for. Like Spirit is saying, to not even have love for somebody. I'm picking up, y'all. Y'all may not know something. I'm picking up the High Priestess. All right, Page of Swords energy. Okay, y'all may have discernment about something, but not physical proof. Okay, and Spirit is saying show no love or you shouldn't have no remorse. All right, with a decision this week ahead to move on or stop investing into this or just going the opposite way. So if this is not a lover, this could be just somebody you loved or even you was trying to help in love. But you might have like your spidey senses. All right, the Six of Wands to the Five of Wands. Somebody feels exposed. Somebody confidence. I don't know. Something is telling you something. Something is telling you to go ahead. Six of Swords about this lover. All right, because if not, you are going to endure heartbreak. There's something that will have you heartbroken. Okay, there is something you may have helped somebody, or you might be intending to like go all in. All right, you're gonna come out heartbroken if you don't trust your intuition. Six of Swords, and going right up on the head to calmer waters where your mind is at ease. That's what I see. Spirit, give me more on this helpful people. I can't believe it says no. But hell no, with this Three of Swords, if the ending is, if the results is that, if the rewards is heartbreak. Like imagine you trying to help somebody or somebody you love and you get heartbroken at the end. So before that even happens, Spirit is saying no. That's like your intuition is saying no. All right, the King of Pentacles. All right, what about this King of Pentacles with this helpful people and this lover's connection? All right, the Five of Pentacles. It's a no. The Five of Pentacles is feeling left out. It's in a state of hardship. It's not in the... They might seem or portray to be in a King of Pentacles, somebody that is very stable, somebody that is highly successful, financially wise, all right, a provider, provides to a lot of things. They govern over kingdoms and things like that, hold major responsibilities, do a lot of community work, very loved by many, respected, but they are in the Five of Pentacles. And I don't know if they're trying to make you feel sorry for them, but the fact that it's a no, that's questionable. So with this no, it might not be because you want to be mean. There may be a lesson that needs to be learned and consequences or karma, right? Like the wheel of karma is playing out and somebody is about to learn a huge lesson in investing and really being grateful for a position that they got, possibly in your life or in others' lives, lovers. Spirit, give me more on this no. This is some form of hardship. All right? Or, Spirit, give me more on this no. The Sun card, something is exposed. All right. Yeah, to the Nine of Wands. There is somebody that is nervous about you moving on because you know something. Like something has been revealed to you. Now, I was picking up the High Priestess energy. So they might not know what you know, but I feel like with this High Priestess energy, again, coming out so strongly, you know way more. Like, it's clear. It's illuminated, the Sun card. You can't block out the sun. All right, I'm hearing things are heating up for somebody. Okay, and the Nine of Wands is right under the Lovers. So you know more than somebody thinks you know, or they might even know you know. If they know you're a High Priestess, or if they know you somebody very intelligent, maybe this is business and somebody portrayed it to be like, oh, they could help you. They are in a certain position and because it benefits them, right? Like being in partnership with you may benefit them, but the reality of things is that they are not. And that might do something to your resources if you're not aware of the position that or the contract that you're getting into. Five of Pentacles to the Sun card. Spirit is beaming this. Like Spirit is highlighting. It's like a highlighter. All right. Spirit, why this Nine of Wands, this nervousness, this kind of like on the fence with this Lovers? Please and thank you. All right. The Knight of Cups. All right, who they was giving their love to. All right, somebody from the past. All right, they definitely communicating the devil. This might even be like an attachment, or it might even be nothing, right? It might even be nothing to them, but it's something about this Knight of Cups energy, sharing a cup, exploring. Okay, it might be that. All right, having options or entertaining. The Knight of Cups love entertaining. In this energy, the Lovers card, the Knight of Cups, that's being very friendly. All right, that is being very friendly. Okay, men or women, that is being very friendly to your luck, to people that you're supposed to be blocked. So maybe the Seven of Wands is putting up a wall, is setting boundaries like you cannot get through. All right, the Six of Cups is like things from the past, memories from the past, people from the past, even childhood neighborhoods from their childhood. And that's where the attention, like that's where, all right, whatever past energies that are around this King of Pentacles, all right, gives them attention. All right, they get a lot of attention. Star card. All right. The Page of Wands is communication. So right now, if they told you that they kind of like they wasn't dealing with nobody from the past or something, they get a lot of communication. They feel like actually the man with whoever they talking to, it's kind of like a bad habit, I would say. You know how when you like to like, you know, like, I don't know, you some people like that. Some people like that attention. They don't care where they're getting the attention from. They like attention. All right, and it's definitely from the past. So again, with this Seven of Wands, I don't know if this is telling you to block out, or they was telling you, right? Maybe they was telling you that they was helping, right? With this helpful people. Maybe they was telling you, I'm trying to come up with all scenarios, y'all. Maybe they was telling you that they was helping people from the past, right? And you thought it was like, really like helping people out whole time. Baby, they doing more than talking. All right, they doing more than talking. Okay? They doing way more than talking. So maybe it's that, where it's an absolute no. Okay? Because any further you go into this without trusting your intuition, you're gonna be left like this. I'm telling y'all that right now. Thinking this is love. All right? Somebody definitely probably love you or like you, but they definitely are very friendly right now. All right, with people from the past. The Six of Cups. All right. And for a lot of you guys, this is going to be people that they told you that they block or don't deal with, or they're just helping you out in a way where, you know, you help out people from the past. Like nobody can tell you what to do with your money and your resources. But when it comes to lovers, all right, and heartbreak, that's where the karma steps in. That's where boundaries need to be stepped in. That's where things need to be addressed, however you choose to do it. When feelings are at risk. All right? When block energy come out. Okay? But they definitely are receiving a lot of attention. Communication. It don't even got to be physical communication. The Page of Wands is communication. So phones, emails, texting, even kind of like meetings, all right, or orchestrating or agreeing to meeting up, dating, stuff like that. But a lot of communication coming up. So Spirit is saying it's a no this week for you guys. All right. Anything else about this King of Pentacles? What are their actions towards my everythings this week? All right. The Queen of Wands. Okay, to the Page of Wands, to the King of Wands, to the Ace of Swords, to the Queen of Cups, to the Four of Swords. So for a lot of you guys, I'm so sorry with this King and Queen of Wands here. That now things get physical. Remember I said with the Page of Wands, that's kind of like just communication. But with the King and Queen of Wands here showing up with this Ace of Wands, baby, that is physical attraction. That is getting your groove on. That's getting buzzed down. That is doing something, interacting some way. All right. And with this Queen of Cups to this Ace of Swords, y'all don't even gotta be a water sign. This is screaming intuition, right? Like when we in our Queen of Cups energy, we are intuitive. All right. We trust our emotions above all else. All right. We very connected to spirit. All right, and that Ace of Swords is truth, it's clarity, it's clear. The Ace of Swords to the Sun card, that's like discernment. You don't need no, you don't, the proof is here. Y'all, I'm gonna lie to y'all, okay? Y'all know me. The Four of Swords is saying, baby, silence. All right, silence is what's gonna do it. All right, silence. All right, you don't have to prove, you don't have to feel bad, you don't have to feel heartbroken that somebody would do this to you, or it happens every day. And I'm dead serious, y'all. It happens all the time. People do stupid stuff like this all the time. Okay, literally. For a lot of you guys, you are out of, at least you out of Hangman energy this week. Hangman upright to the Three of Pentacles. It's like really trying to figure out or trying to see, right? Trying to see if this is to be true, how you feel, or can you do this, or you're being alarmed, like you're seeing something from a completely different view, all right? And then the World card is a wrapping that up. So this reading might not be for everybody, but this is clear. Too much people out here anyway. All right. The Nine of Pentacles is a well single energy. The Nine of Pentacles to the Queen of Pentacles. All right. So you'll be very good. But Spirit is saying trust your intuition right now. Okay. Because somebody is doing way more than helping people from the past. You hear me? Or people that they entertaining. They're doing way more than helping. All right. It may sound good because the King of Pentacles is a provider. All right. They don't just provide to their immediate family. They literally love people. They love helping. And if they in a position to help, they're going to do it. That's okay. But when it comes to the Ace of Wands, to the King and Queen of Wands, to the Lovers card, okay, that is like, all right, let's get to it, baby. So, yeah, trust what you know, the Four of Swords. All right, no message is kind of like a message. All right. What is the actions? Did I ask that already? All right, the Ten of Swords. It's an ultimate betrayal. That is the result. I don't know if you might feel like this, but you might think you bugging. I don't know why y'all think that. All right. It's because of your discernment. You know, see, when you're learning how to master discernment, that's proof without having physical proof with anything, with any single thing, and not even only in relationships. That's like a gift. When you know something without having to need somebody to say something or need physical proof, you know, that's kind of like a superpower. And right now, y'all might be a part of the collective that's trying to learn how to trust your discernment, or you at a point where you're strengthening your discernment. A lot of things that is playing out that is coming true the way you are making choices. But Spirit is saying this is an ultimate betrayal. Maybe you trusted somebody, right? Maybe you always was clear and honest, gave your love, Queen of Cups. Okay. But somebody was just giving it out. Sorry. All right. Or to one specific person, right? To one specific person. It's the ultimate betrayal, baby. Okay, go ahead and that Six of Swords. Okay. All right, what's the advice as we close out? All right, the Empress, baby. You too good. All right. You know the karma, right? And all of that stuff that we feel like we want to get because somebody played us is this. Once they know your worth, whether you a man or a feminine, you coming out as an Empress. All right. Once they realize what they have to accept, right? Karma is simply the results of your actions. It's not. You don't need to fear. But when you do an ultimate betrayal multiple times, this happened multiple times, maybe 10 times, or it don't have to be that drastic. But it could be multiple times where you doing that to a high value energy. You doing that to one of God's favorite. You doing that to somebody that everybody wants. All right? You doing that to somebody that is nurturing, that is loving, that will like literally give you the shirt off your back. That's her skill. You know, as Empress, we are trained to nurture everybody around us that we value and love. That's the reward, knowing that they safe and good. That's kind of like our superpower. But the Empress will not sit around and tolerate disrespect, especially because this could cause secret competition, putting you in secret competition. All right. And sometimes people do that to stroke their own ego. Because right now, you coming out bigger than everybody, bigger than the whole program out here. All right, the Empress, that's the big dog. Okay, when we're talking about Emperor and Empress, that's the big dog. Maybe somebody try to humble you and show you that they could get people or that you're not the only one. And that could have been the worst thing that they've done. They could have said something to you that made you look at them like, what the fuck? Okay, but the Empress, okay, it's not what she says, it's how she says it, all right, and how she chooses to carry out whatever that's happening. All right, she's very smooth. All right, you won't catch her cursing you out. You won't catch her disrespecting her or you, right? But that silence, all right, is going to do it. Your silence is going to speak volumes. Okay, this is the outcome. So this gives you a little insight on what's to come. And my apologies on this person's behalf on you even having to go through this as Empress. All right. But it definitely was the ultimate betrayal because of the title you had in somebody's life. Right. See, the King and Queen of Wands, that's like people that's just sleeping with each other, entertaining with each other. Even work. They could work together. You know, the King and Queen of Wands, they're good at work. And it's like mixing the Ace of Wands, very passionate here. Okay? But when you go to the Empress, that's a title. All right? That's like, oh, lady type of energy, or no. That's not, you know? So I just want to let y'all know y'all not bugging here. And things do get better. All right? Spirit is saying it's a hell no. So I love you guys enough though.